All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring the hyper-niche, totally unfiltered world of the underground artist brevenbell, and we're going to look at this entirely through the passionate lens of a dedicated fan. Because, when you find an artist like this, someone operating completely outside the mainstream machine, you aren't just a casual listener anymore. You're an active participant in their personal evolution. Get this. brevenbell currently has exactly 101 monthly listeners on Spotify. Literally, just 101. Think about that for a sec. In an era where everyone is chasing millions of streams, being one of just 101 listeners creates this incredibly rare, best-kept secret vibe. It strips away all that commercial noise and leaves you with this deeply personal, almost parasocial connection to the music. You're not just consuming content, it's like you're witnessing someone's private diary set to sound. And the YouTube channel? Even smaller. Just 97 subscribers hanging out under the stylized name Saint Breven. It goes to show this really isn't about algorithmic success at all. It's this quiet, hidden corner of the internet where a tiny, fiercely devoted community gathers to watch an artist bare their absolute soul. So to really appreciate this, we're going to map out his deeply personal journey from profound agony right through to spiritual feeling. By decoding the cryptic aesthetic across his 321 YouTube videos and his massive 2025 release cycle, we actually start to understand the man behind the music, an artist who proudly claims his space with the pronouns he, him, and his, basically inviting us to see him for exactly who he is. Which brings us to the first era, the depths of Gothic grief. The whole thing really kicks off with this totally devastating community post from about a year ago. It literally just says, "I'm in so much agony." Around that same time, he kept posting the word KNOOW in all caps just over and over. As a fan, seeing these desperate pleas pop up in your feed, it hits you right in the gut. You aren't just listening to a sad song, you're actively watching someone drown in real time. And man, you can see that agony bleeding straight into his 2025 track titles. You've got an album called I Hate Love, top tracks like BEATIT, Gothic Grief, and Revenge, plus unsettling YouTube uploads like 𝔟𝔯𝔢𝔫𝔢. These aren't just, edgy names. They actively build this incredibly immersive, claustrophobic atmosphere. You feel the heartbreak in the text itself. He's actually contextualizing all this pain within the broader emo rap scene, too. He throws the hashtag #LilPeep on shorts like Plan and Line. By doing that, he's deliberately signaling to us, the fans, the specific flavor of emotionally raw, vulnerable aesthetic he's channeling. He's speaking our language. He's letting us know that, hey, it's okay to sit in the darkness for a while. But then we hit a major pivot point, desperately seeking a savior. Because all of a sudden, that pure darkness, it turns into this frantic, intense search. We shift from Gothic grief to tracks like I Am Guilty and literal cries for help like I Need You, Jesus. He drops an album with this chaotic, sprawling title, Savior Live, packed with crosses and intrabangs, and another project literally called Forgiveness for Saint Breven. This is the sound of an artist violently swinging between intense guilt and these desperate pleas for divine intervention. And the visual storytelling here is absolutely wild. The intense capitalization, the pentagrams, crosses, stars of David, even numbers ending in 666, like the album title Ritual. It's not just a random internet aesthetic, right? It's a highly specific visual language. As a listener, you realize he's illustrating this internal spiritual war between darkness and faith directly through his art. Which leads to my favorite phase, the journey toward healing. Talk about whiplash. You compare his past stuff, like the bleak Gothic I Hate Love, with his breakthrough era, and it's night and day. Suddenly, you're seeing soft, floral emojis on albums, and an EP beautifully titled I'm Healing Gentle RN. To go from pentagrams and 666 to literal flower emojis in just a few months, that is a jarringly beautiful aesthetic pivot. He goes from rejecting love entirely to just openly embracing this fragile, gentle healing process. And naturally, the music totally transforms too. The aggressive beats and grief-stricken lyrics just melts into these incredibly soft tracks. He gives us Be Gentle, Love Song, and parts 1 and 2 of I Need Love. It shows us exactly why listeners form such an incredibly empathetic bond with him. We aren't just watching him hurt anymore. We're sitting right beside him as he learns how to heal. If you trace his community posts chronologically over just a few months, it's basically a complete 180.
He goes from that crushing "I'm in so much agony" to posting "Ily with a black heart," directly expressing love for his followers. It's like the clouds finally start to part. Which brings us to the final triumphant stage, achieving God-level growth.
Seeing an artist who is literally just begging for a savior suddenly post, "My cup's full, I'm whole, YA, link for God-level growth." I mean, wow. With the salute and globe emojis, that is exactly the kind of emotional payoff that makes following underground music so incredibly rewarding. You weathered the storm with him, and now you get to celebrate his wholeness. He's no longer a victim. He's declaring himself a worldwide leader.
So when you map out this massive 2025 discography, this flawless 3-part narrative arc totally emerges. You've got the darkness, all vengeance and grief, then the struggle, defined by guilt and searching, and finally, the light, healing, wholeness, and love. It's just epic, deeply human story told entirely through track titles and fragmented internet uploads.
And that brings us right back to what it actually means to be a fan here. This right here, this is the definition of a micro-fandom. Being one of just 101 listeners isn't a mark of obscurity. It's about being profoundly present for a raw, human experience that most of the world is completely missing. It's an empathetic connection that mainstream pop music simply cannot replicate. So to wrap up this explainer, I've got to ask, how do you personally connect with the raw, unfiltered emotion of underground internet art? Because when you look closely at these hyper-niche, stylized internet micro-communities, you kind of have to wonder, might these hidden corners of the web actually be the most authentic reflection of our universal struggles with pain, faith, and healing? It's a fascinating thought to leave you with. Thanks so much for joining me on this incredible journey.